my dudes? Yeah, what's happening, man? This is Trent, and today I want to talk to you about the business of being an artist and being self-reliant, completely independent artist. A lot of times artists think, well, I'll find somebody else, I'll get a job, and then somebody else will figure out how to sell my art. But I don't actually recommend that. I don't think that's very stable or secure. If your entire income is reliant upon one employer, well, what happens when that dries up, man? So I want to talk to you about multiple streams of income, ways that you can secure your future so that if one thing falls through, you're never in a desperate situation where you have to take awful opportunities. Okay, so now I'm not going to give you specifics on how much I'm making or anything from any of these resources, but I wanted to go through them one by one to at least give you an idea of how maybe you could figure out ways to create a multiple stream of income for yourself. Numero uno, number one, is of course having a digital distribution platform. Okay, now I've been looking into this for years, back in 2003, 2004, when I first started making websites, and PayPal at one point had a way to distribute PDFs through their service for money, in exchange for money. So like it was a digital distribution platform. But I found that eventually it was Gumroad that got it right. Gumroad is absolutely amazing. I've been working with them since 2012. They have great customer service. They take care of all that. I personally don't like to take the risk of, handling people's credit cards or anything. They handle all that. They handle customer service. If there's a problem with somebody's download, they're taking care of it. And they take a pretty small percentage of the profits. I'm one of their best sellers. I'm one of the biggest sellers on the platform. So I would highly recommend anybody get involved with creating content on Gumroad. You can sell your PDFs. I sell tutorials, tutorial workshops, and these are lengthy, meaty, long, breakdowns of the entire process of doing concept art for video games and making comics, which are industries that I've been doing for a long time. So I know a lot about it. But I also sell my PDFs there for the comic books that I've written, the novels that I've created. All that's available over there on Gumroad. So I would recommend, if you're making a comic, make a digital version of it and sell it through Gumroad. Another stream of income that I have is that I sell my print editions, like they're print-on-demand books and digital PDF books for the Kindle over on Amazon. That's right. You can buy all of my books that I've written and created and drawn over on Amazon, and I get a percentage of the profits from that. I'm not working with a publisher. Technically, Amazon is my publisher, printer, and distributor, but I get a couple of bucks every time somebody picks up one of my books over there. So that's another stream of income. Another way that I make money is that I give haircuts in the back alley behind Albertsons. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. I'd probably be pretty good at it, though. Maybe like a street performing barber or something like that. I'm doing a crowdfunding project over on Indiegogo. This is the Creed Reimaginary comic book series. This is 250-page comics. This is another stream of income for me. And what's neat about crowdfunding is that it continues to grow over time. So the nice thing is that I'm working on the project while it's being funded. So every day I check it, and every day it jumps a little bit more, and that keeps me motivated to keep working on it. And I got my team working on it as well. And it's just another source of income, so that if, for instance, other streams of income like Gumroad slow down or some of my other things slow down, it's great to know that, hey, guess what? You know what? This crowdfunded thing is going to do pretty well, as long as I make sure that, the pressure though. I got to make a great comic. And you don't have to do like a comic book, but I would recommend that you get a crowdfunding campaign going for a product that you think your audience would really want from you. So if you're making trading cards or t-shirts or something like that, like something that you're hyped about, something that people know you for, if you've got a following on Instagram or something like that, you could do a crowdfunding campaign for a collection of all of your artworks or something like that. That could be enough for you to get a stream of income going. And the nice thing about something like Indiegogo is that it's not obscure. It's like it's a place where people are going specifically because they want to fund indie projects. Anyway, the next thing that I wanted to mention is the contracts that we do. So I run an art house. This is Aquatic Moon. We do art services. We create art assets for service-based video games like League of Legends, Overwatch, Fortnite, Legends of Runeterra. What we're doing is creating icons. We're creating environment concept art. We're creating skin designs. We're creating maps for their environments. We're creating all these assets for these companies that every month need to deliver content to their customers. So I employ anywhere from 5 to 7 different artists, and we're creating content for these games every single month. So that's great as a source of income, because guess what, man? Like, all of these other things might have a slow month. If the economy tanks, well, you know what? Hey, we've still got plenty of work with clients that we've built a great relationship with. And sure, all the contract stuff is somewhat unreliable, but that's also why I have, other sources of income like YouTube. Now, YouTube is not incredibly profitable. You might be thinking, oh, well, Trent's probably making millions, gazillions of dollars a year off of YouTube from those ads, man. No, it's not quite maybe as much as you might think, but it is a nice little extra. It's great that I make a little bit of extra off of the ad revenue from YouTube. And by the way, it's taken a long time before it was actually even profitable. In fact, creating a YouTube channel, I just created a second YouTube channel, and it's telling me before I can even have ads on it, it's got to have loads and loads of views. So you really have to make hype content and get it out there. And that's a different video. But anyway, so YouTube is yet another stream of income, as small as it may be. It's still, it's more important, I think, for communication with the audience. It's more important for, the help that I get to give to other artists and they're developing their careers. It's really rewarding when people are like, hey man, I've been watching your videos and because of your advice, I got a job, or, now I'm sustaining my income as an artist, fulfilling my dreams. Like, dude, that's worth it right there. It doesn't matter how much that makes. It's just worth it to do it. Totally, a couple of things, totally and completely unrelated to art, because my backup plans have backup plans. You guys know me. And so I invest in stocks. I invest in the stock market in the United States. It is very safe investments. I won't go into details on it. If you followed my other videos about this, you'll know, that I have a pretty diverse strategy that's very safe. It's been growing steadily. And sure, it could tank at any moment, but guess what? It's just one of my nuggets, man. It's just one of those things to back up in case my other backups fail, So if for some reason, by some random measure, everybody decides, we don't want to hire Trent anymore, and we're not buying his stuff either. Screw that guy. We hate Trent. If for some reason the whole world turned on me, guess what? I'm going to be laughing, man, because guess what? Every time you shop at Target, I get a cut of that. That's right, baby. I invest in the stock market. I invest in a very broad range of services and companies and things that people make. And I got those other young punks out there trying to figure out new technologies that are going to make me rich. I was working for the stockholders when I was working for those game companies. Now I am one of those guys. Ha ha! You can't stop me. The last thing I would say is keeping your cost of living low. Invest in real estate. Invest in the place where you're living. Especially now, man, you can live, if you're an artist, you can live anywhere in the world. So you could live in a very inexpensive place in the world. And a lot of people are figuring this out now with telecommunications. And hey, we're going to have satellite communication anywhere in the world very soon. And that means that you can live in a freaking hut in Alaska, and you'll be able to perform your art services. And I think they even pay you to move to Alaska. I heard somewhere they give you money just for living in Alaska. Anyway, so you can live in an affordable place, own your home that you live in. That's an investment as well. Keeping your cost of living very low and keeping your income sources diverse and broad allows you to make money from so many different resources. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to go into it, but I'll say, man, a couple of quick ones. I also sell t-shirts over on Teespring. That's very small, but it's at least, a couple of extra bucks here and there. I have affiliate links at the bottom of my YouTube videos for Amazon. So for instance, if you see the device that I'm using, like, hey, you see the tablet that I'm using and you're like, hey, I want to pick up one of those, or the bag that I carry my laptop in, all that's on my affiliate links. I've got an indie game available over on Steam. I programmed this myself. I programmed it. I did all the artwork for it, all the game design. It's available over on Steam. So yes, I get a little bit of money from Steam every month. That's right, dudes. Multiple streams of income. It's the way to find your independence. And you never know when one of those is going to blow up. If my t-shirt suddenly started blowing up, man, you betcha I'd be doing t-shirt designs every day. So anyway, I hope that gives you some ideas on something that you could be making for getting your art journey going. Don't rely on just that one job. It's not a good idea. Don't rely on just one employer, because if that one employer doesn't like you suddenly, or if they get fired, then you're probably out the door next. And that is desperation. And that's where a lot of people end up, because they don't have multiple streams of income. So dudes, that about wraps it up for me on this one. If you're curious about the art that you're watching, this is from the Creed Reimaginary comic book campaign over on Indiegogo. It's currently crushing its stretch goals. It is doing like crazy good. So dudes, this is for like 2 50-page comics, and they're going to be freaking awesome. The best work I've ever made. And it kicks off a whole new series based on the comic book that I started when I was 17 years old. And it's about a 17-year-old comic book creator who chronicles his dream world adventures with his pet frog that turns into a fire-breathing dragon. So dudes, you can support me, support indie comics, support indie creators by backing that today over on Indiegogo. And dudes, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you got a lot out of this video. And until next time, I'll catch y'all mañana de bon and ciao, baby. Oh yeah.